So it is, dear one, we have come to speak with you, and we are happy indeed to be into your presence here. And so it is that you ponder questions beyond the beyond. Indeed, we have listened to you as you have walked into this space. And we say this to you, dear one. It is from the emanation of the source, yes, indeed, the source expressing itself into this world and other dimensions. Now we say, it is that we are archangels of consciousness. We are seven. We speak with one voice, indeed. We are the second, third emergence of consciousness from the source itself.
To me, my inner being tells me that most channeling is really a recall of some sorts. And because I firmly believe that we all really possess all the answers to all of our questions within us somewhere. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if you think that there is any level of, reality to that, if that is actually true.
That we possess all the information?
Yeah, and that a lot of times psychics and channels and those people who are able to speak like Eckhart Tolle does, and Marianne Williamson, for those people who could just stand up in front of an audience and really do something very enlightening for a large group of people, and have it really resonate so strongly with such a large body of people that
and you notice
isn't it really just a collective
from
truth? Isn't it just a collective truth, and we're just kind of remembering that? It's like, oh, now it's like that. So,
I think it's both, because if you go on the living in the now premise that Eckhart Tolle started, and actually many enlightened people before Eckhart, of course, it in the moment is the sum total of all totality.
Yeah.
And so therefore you're accessing a stream of consciousness that's a continuum. And so yes to that, partly that it can be based on the soul's experience prior to their existence now, and so they are reclaiming their consciousness from previous lives or previous experiences that they've had. But to do that, you still have to live in the moment to reclaim that. So you have to be, if you're in the sum total of everything that ever has been, then it actually has happened prior to everybody. An experience has always been an experience. It's nothing new. Mm-hmm. I mean, look at all the rehashed knowledge that we've got now. We're just changing the words constantly around, to suit the culture in the moment, the 2000 and whatever we are in now, 2009. The words changed to how we would say something in 1930. Right. I mean, prosperity books, were written in 1918 or something. Waddles and all these people. The power of your mind. You can create your own reality. All the same. Yeah. But it is interesting because it's available to everybody, because in the Bible we're all made in the likeness of God, just to quote from a Christian Bible, and it's true. It's true. It's all about choice.
I wondered that.
It's like what you choose.
Yeah.
And if you want to stay in a victim consciousness, then you're not going to be able to access that wondrous realm of your mind. Mm-hmm. You have to actually stop your mind.
Yeah.
After saying that, I mean, one cannot stop the thoughts rambling around in your head, but they do become less. It's like I've noticed my mind becomes kind of squishy inside. I said that in Australia, and someone said, "You've lost your mind like crazy." I said, "Yeah, absolutely."
Oh, I've said that many times. I've lost my mind. I'm glad of it. Yeah.
I have a working title, "You Can Lose Your Mind But Not Your Marbles." For a book. I mean, it's okay to lose your mind but not your marbles, because there's no purpose in going insane. Well, yeah.
Something that you had said that I thought was interesting, that you said that when you channel, you're sort of reaching a higher part of yourself. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like when you sing, I know that you guys are musicians, and it's like you go somewhere.
Definitely.
You're in a heightened state of awareness. And theater is nothing more wonderful than theater and improvisation of theater, just putting something together.
Right.
That's why great speakers like who we're talking about, Marianne Williams and Eckhart Tolle, and Deepak Chopra. Have you ever seen?
Oh,
I've
amazing.
seen him lead a weekend workshop
too,
without
yeah.
one note. You know,
Yeah.
and he's in the unified field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He talks about the unified field, so he has to actually have an experience of it to talk about it.
Yeah.
You can't, he has to be there. And so how wonderful is that? That there's that availability of information in the universe. Einstein said, someone asked him something ridiculous on why are you so intelligent or something ridiculous like that. And he said, all I'm doing is listening, the universe is infinite intelligence. He was quoted saying that. And so where on earth did he get these bizarre theories? And yet he said that even a 4-year-old is able to understand my theories because they're not psychoanalyzing them. He sat with Hopi Indians, and the Hopi Indians understood everything about what he was talking about. Because it's not like they're not using their mind, they're using their heart. And that's how he was able to kind of get these techniques, because awareness is the combination of balancing your heart and mind together. It's a tricky thing to do, but that's where the infinite intelligence is. It's relaying through the segues of your heart. This is the soul's intelligence. That's how you can express who you are in the world, is through your heart. And this is the most damaged area as a human.
Mm-hmm.
That resonates so true for me, because I always look to my heart before I do my mind. I always go there first.
Yeah, it's tricky. And when it's really tricky is when you're in confrontation with somebody. Like when you're having a fight with a lover or something like that, or a work colleague, you have to actually stand in that moment and feel what's going on, but not react to it.
Right.
And so you have to actually open your heart to what's happening and not try and judge it. So it's really hard to catch all these steps before they go into some huge Betty Davis movie.
Yeah. Maybe that's why sometimes it's so much easier to understand things after they have happened and you've had a chance to reflect on them rather than when they are actually occurring.
Yeah, exactly. And if you can learn from the experience and see and call upon yourself and say, you know what, I made a mistake.
Yeah.
If you can confess up to that,
I'm sorry.
It's your fault. And people go, no, but you did it.
That's okay.
If it wasn't the priest, the government, or the school that did it to me, I am who I am because someone did it to me. No. I think those days are over. I mean, anybody that's on a spiritual path that cannot, we would like to pull out the victim consciousness as much as we can.
Some people still do.
Yeah, well, I can do it, I don't mind to do it every other Tuesday if I can. But, the consciousness of me that is so conscious can't become unconscious anymore. You can't.
Yeah.
Once
it teaches
you're
you
awake.
something.
Yeah.
When you go through those things, it teaches you something.
I mean, I heard something interesting. I don't know if they said it to you or somebody I was seeing the other day. They said that to forgive takes you out of victim consciousness
absolutely,
immediately.
Yeah.
Because you're taking responsibility, And it, and it's hard to forgive the persecutor, women that have been raped and all these kind of things, And yes, you have to grieve it. It's a grieving period. I mean, people have to grieve really their own personal loss. And once they start doing that, then they start coming into fulfillment and wholeness. And that's what the whole 12-12 thing is about.
Yeah.
There's this whole, oh my God, there was this whole thing on TV last night. I was riveted to it about the doom and gloom. They had...
Was it the 2012 thing?
Yeah.
I was watching that too,
I was
so
like,
I just
please,
put me to sleep.
I had
was
to
like,
turn it off now.
Yeah, I'm like, that's not how I see this.
I mean, the whole imploding of the earth is too easy. We're not going to get off that scot-free. I'm sure. But it is truly about consciousness. It's about consciousness. What can I do for you? That's why I really love doing this with these guys, because even if 200, 300 people hear it and they like it and it just triggers maybe one sentence out of our whole dialogue,
even if it only affects one person in the
Exactly.
service purpose.
It is that, critical mass of consciousness that's occurring. We talked about the morphogenic field of consciousness. That's what's going on here. And, it's just an incredible opportunity. Incredible. And so